We have to abort the child, I argued with my wife. Her face suddenly expressed a shocking expression over my words. She might not expect this statement from me. It has been 7 years since we started our marriage life. But Sarah, my beloved wife, had undergone 2 miscarriages, and I eventually gave up on my efforts to make her pregnant again. Her diagnosis report identifies the risk factors of getting pregnant again that made me to reconsider my desires of having a baby. There was nothing important for me than Sarah. So I avoided being intimate with her several times. That turned Sarah very aggressive for not getting pregnant again. I tried my best to calm her down, but she was too stubborn on getting pregnant. I was literally worried about Sarah's pregnancy. I tried myself to abort the child as soon as possible. But she was too stubborn against my opinion. We ended up in a huge argument, but Sarah was still in a place where she decided to protect the child at any cost. But something pressured me from inward. I was not convinced to keep the child. Moreover, for the past a year we did not have any sort of intimacy with each other. That made me more suspicious. I strongly believed that was not my child. So after a strong argument of more than an hour, I presented myself authoritatively to examine the child's condition at least. My wife may think that I was too concerned about the child. But apart from that, I secretly decided to take a DNA test. I finally convinced Sarah to examine her health condition at least. It was a bit uncomfortable for me to touch her 3 months baby bump, but you tightened myself just to ensure the procedure. She looked a bit nervous for her child's safety. It took me half an hour to complete all the procedures for me. Meantime, I injected anesthesia in her and watched her slowly fell into a deep state of unconsciousness. Before she passed out completely, I said, "I am sorry, honey," to her. I monitored the process of the self-operating surgical machine, gradually aborting the baby from her womb. It was very hard for me to see the child gradually dissolved from her womb. I turned away my eyes from the monitor and stroked Sarah's hair. After 3 hours of deep anesthesia, she finally woke up from her unconscious. She must witness the fear in my eyes while going through the reports. "Arthur, what did you do to our child?" she yelled at the top of her voice and tried to walk straight towards me. But due to high level of anesthesia, her legs did not feel the grip and made her to fall. I quickly jumped to catch her up and made her to rest herself for a while on me. "Why did you do this?" she cried insanely. "Be logical to the situation." I yelled at the top of my lungs that was not my child. To pause her blabber. Sarah then stared at me shockingly for a while. I showed her the reports and went broken. She glanced at the reports thoroughly and an array of inevitable fear brushed on her face. "We have been alone in this spaceship for more than a year and I did not even involved in any sort of intimacy with you. Honey, this not even a human child," I confessed to her. And suddenly we heard the red alert alarm of our spaceship started to sound as an alienated imposter was actually dwelt with us.